Welcome, welcome, welcome to the village. Welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Come on in to the village. This is an inviting place. This is a safe place for teachers, for coaches, for educators. So come on in. Come on in. I invite you to the village. I am Dr. Roz Gaskin, CEO and founder of the Village Leadership Group. And we are a professional learning community of teachers, educators, and coaches and entrepreneurs coming together to share information, to encourage one another, and to learn and grow as leaders. So today is Thursday. So that means that we have an exciting guest so that we can continue our conversation about what? My favorite topic, leadership. So teachers, if you want to take your leadership game to the next level, you need to grab pen and paper because we have an amazing guest, a leadership expert who's going to share more information about leadership. And she's going to tell us how leadership isn't a title. Okay, so we're going to learn more about how leadership is a mindset. We're going to learn about the characteristics of leadership from our wonderful guest, author, leadership expert, Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. Welcome to the village. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
Yes. So, Dr. Karen Hills Pruden, I know about you. I got your bio. I read about you. I also participated in one of your pre-launch discussions about your book that's coming out soon about leadership. So I know a little bit about you. So can you tell the village who Dr. Karen Hills Pruden is?
Absolutely. I am truly a servant leader. I hold a number of titles around town. I am also known as the career elevation expert. I specifically work with female professionals who seek senior leadership positions. And so what I do is I help demystify the senior leadership role. I'm also a 9-time author. I also publish the stories of women professionals. And at least 5 going on 6 books of mine have reached #1 on Amazon bestselling chart. And so I believe in sharing information through keynote speaking, webinars, online classes, and obviously through the written word.
Awesome, awesome. So that's what the village is all about, guys. It's about networking and coming together to learn and grow from leaders that's already in the field. They're doing their thing. So thank you, Dr. Karen Pruden, for joining the village and, taking time out to share your knowledge. So I want to know, leadership is a journey. So it's not just, I've arrived. You always continuously learn and grow and develop your leadership skills. So I want to hear from you. Like, what has your journey been like? Where did you start as far as your leadership journey?
Well, I started at a very young age. My very first job in leadership was at a grocery store called Farm Fresh, and I was in charge of the deli and cheese shop. I was 17 years old, and I was responsible for several $100,000 worth of inventory, as well as 5 employees at 17. And so there was a lot of trial and error because, of course, I was a young leader, and I've held many leadership positions since then. I've been a director of human resources, senior manager of human resources, diversity and inclusion. Currently, I'm the chief human resource officer at Norfolk State University. I own my own company, which is, a female coaching company for female professionals. So I've had a number of leadership positions, and I've learned through trial and error. I've had informal leaders that I followed, and then I had a few mentors who were formal. I educated myself, read books. I copied some people that I shouldn't have copied, and I copied some other people who were doing it right, and you get the feedback from your employees whether or not you are headed in the right direction, and when you're not, you pivot. But since I've been a leader since I was about 17, and I'm not afraid of my age, so I'm 54 now, and I've been in charge of other people. And so, to be honest, it's trial and error, education, and experience.
Love it, love it. And I love how you said you got feedback from other people as well. Mm-hmm. So even though you were a leader, you were still open to feedback and to criticism. criticism. So
Absolutely.
that is a great tip for all the leaders and teacher leaders out there. As you're going along as a teacher leader, you want to make sure that you're open to feedback and criticism so that you can always get better and fine tune your craft. All right. So one of the things that I also want you to talk about is when you say leadership is a mindset and not a title. So what does that mean when you say, it's a mindset? Like, what is the mindset of a leader?
Most companies have a go-to person, and that go-to person may or may not have the title of a leader. It may not be a director or a manager or a supervisor, but that person is someone that is highly respected, is viewed as knowledgeable, and someone who has been known to achieve results. And so as a leader, you can be influential without having a title of a leader within your name. And a lot of the most influential leaders are the ones who don't have the title. They're the silent movers throughout an organization that can rally individuals behind an organizational goal. They have that professional equity where they can walk into particular offices and people actually listen to them and consider their viewpoint. And that's not a title. Those are personal characteristics that that individual garner as they're moving through their profession.
That is awesome. And that is something that the village preaches all the time. I say that so much, is that you have influence. You impact your colleagues, you impact your community. So just because you don't have a title, you're not a department chair, you're not the coordinator or something, or you're not out of the classroom, you still have influence. And you have so much influence and power and influence that you're, making a difference. So you are a leader. It's a mindset. And I love what you talked about when you said the characteristics of a leader. So when you think about a leader, someone who has influence and impact, that person has certain characteristics. They're trustworthy. They're dependable. Again, they have expertise. So can you, Dr. Pruden, share with us again some of those characteristics of a leader?
Well, I believe that leaders have to have a general knowledge of quite a few things, but always have to have a specialty. What are you known for? And I'm not talking about your title. You need to be known to generate particular results. For instance, my specialty is analytics. And so individuals know that I'm an analytical person. So when I speak, I use data. And so you have to be known for a particular thing. Are you, are we? We're fine. Okay. You have to be known for a particular thing, and so you have to have be known for your expertise. You also have to be known for generating results. You have to be able to lead people, and you have to be able to lead change in order to be a leader. I believe in the formula of professional equity, and professional equity is the combination of your expertise, your relationships, and your reputation. Your reputation garners on if you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, and that equals generating results.
All right, awesome, awesome. So, Dr. Pruden, you said you wrote 9 books. You have 9 books out there. So we want to talk about the newest book that's about to be launched, Stepping into Leadership Greatness. Yes. Leadership isn't just a title. Correct. So tell us about the book and how you were how this book came about.
Absolutely. So I have a few peers that we are HR buddies, and we call each other, we play in the sandbox. We do a lot of speaking engagements together, conferences together, and we just share knowledge to keep each other up to date. And the visionary of this book is one of my HR buddies. It is Dr. Jennifer Jones Bryant. And so, although I publish women's stories, I would not be left out of her project. I had to participate in this project. We are both very passionate about leaders and leadership and what effective leadership is. And so she knew that I wanted to be part of this project, and I was able to join her. My actual title is When Leadership is Absent. And so I have a problem with leaders who don't do their job. And so that's why I pick that title because the impact is so long standing. It's not always immediate. It could be years to come, the impact of a leader who does not do their job.
Wow, that's good. All right, so I wanted to hear more about that book and how we can get our hands on the book and when will it be available and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. We have our virtual book launch on Facebook Live, and we have a page, Leadership Step into Greatness. And that'll be March 23rd. It'll be available for publication, but you can buy it in pre-sale from any co-author, including myself, now.
Now.
Yes,
So you
absolutely.
heard it here. So make sure you go to Dr. Pruden's website and order the book now. So teachers, again, Dr. Karen Hills Pruden is a leadership expert. You just heard this is her 9th book, okay? So she knows what she's talking about. So definitely, if you want to learn more about leadership, you want to learn about the different characteristics of a leader and different things so that you can take your leadership game to the next level, definitely reach out to Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. Go to her website and order this book. I cannot wait to get my hands on it myself. So any tips or anything that you can share with teachers, Dr. Karen Hills Pruden, any tips for teachers?
Well, actually, yes. So I happen to be the daughter of a teacher. So I thought it would be quite interesting for me to kind of correlate classroom management with regular leadership and show how they are probably one and the same.
Awesome.
And so just want to share a few things with you. So in terms of classroom management, I know sometimes teachers shift students around so that they can be more productive. And as a leader, you have to sometimes shift employees around so that they can be more productive in the workplace, and so you can play to their strengths. Yes. Another way that I think that leaders are teachers are definitely leaders is that sometimes teachers. All the time, teachers write lesson plans, and a true leader cannot lead unless they know where they're going. And so they have organizational goals that they go by, and they have to pivot those goals sometimes based on external situations like competitiveness and different things like that. So that's the similarity between leaders in corporate and teachers in the classroom. And then also teachers, they lead with respect. They lead with respect. And so a great leader leads with respect, not with intimidation, not unruliness, not yelling and screaming, but they lead with respect. And then also a good teacher knows the strengths, the weaknesses, and maybe the opportunities. And so doing a SWOT analysis, for your students, knowing their strengths and weaknesses, leaders do that as well. And so when I thought about classroom management, I'm like, they do the same things that every other leader. So teacher, even though teacher does not have a title that is really synonymous with leaders, but they are leaders of our young citizens, and they employ the same characteristics that any other leader employ within corporate America.
Exactly. And I love what you're saying because, again, teacher leaders, that's what the village is all about, is that teachers, all teachers, regardless of, the new teachers all the way to the veterans, you guys are leaders. So we want to make sure that teachers develop those same leadership skills that Dr. Pruden is talking about. So when you talk about, being organized and planned, we want teachers to be intentional about what they're doing, not only within the classroom, but how they also collaborate with their colleagues as well. And then knowing your strengths as a teacher and knowing your strengths of your students and knowing the strengths of your colleagues. So many times teachers are asked to work with their team or work, as far as collaborative planning or looking at data. So you have to work together as a team. And those same leadership skills that Dr. Pruden mentioned, those are the skills that teachers need in order to have high impact teams. So we need to make sure that we are developing those skills so that we are maximizing our strengths and also getting along with our teammates so that we can do what we need to do for our students. So again, thank you, Dr. Pruden, for your tips for teacher leaders. So once again, Dr. Pruden, tell us about the book, tell us the title and where to get it again. One more time.
Absolutely. So the book comes out March 23rd. The title is Step into Leadership. Leadership isn't just a title. And you can buy it from any co-author, including myself, and you can get it on my website under my namesake, drkarenhillspruden.com.
Awesome. So Dr. Pruden, thank you so much for pouring into the village and for sharing your expertise. Dr. Pruden, you have joined the village, right? You're not going to be a stranger.
Absolutely, I'm here.
So, guys, we will see Dr. Pruden again. She's already said she's coming back. She's joined the village. So that's what we want you guys to do, to join the village. Thanks again, Dr. Pruden. See you next time.
Thank you.
All right. So, village. Oh my gosh. I hope your pad is full with notes, because Dr. Pruden has given us so many tips for how we can lead our students in the classroom, and also how we can take our leadership game to the next level, okay? So again, we want to make sure that leadership is a mindset and not a title. So again, don't get it twisted, guys. Teacher leadership is so important, and we want to continue our conversation next week. So come right back here. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Village LG. Again, I'll say it, at The Village LG. Don't forget the LG. All right. So follow and like our page, okay, on Facebook. I appreciate you. Join us again next week. We're going to continue our conversation about teacher leadership. And again, leadership is a mindset, not a title. See you guys.